Jimmy.
Greetings, folks. How's it going? This is Top Cat Jimmy coming to you live here from my home recording studio. I always like to do the captain's log, captain's star date. So today's date now is, I believe, the 8th of October, and that would be Saturday. Let's see here, 2022, of course, and the time here is Chicagoland. Is 1:27 a.m. Central Standard Chicagoland time. I would have preferred to have done this live broadcast earlier. However, I will not be dictated to by timeline right now. And I've been busy researching and looking at, in particularly, the subject of audio certificates. Okay, so I was real busy all through the evening, researching, earlier this evening and then later on this evening, researching those things and doing my homework and gathering all the evidence, doing the screenshots and, links and sending things to my email and whatnot. And anyway, so I'm going to show you here. Okay, let's go here first. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, we'll take it down a notch. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so hopefully this is going to show up. And then I'm going to go to here. All right, now you can still see me over here in the picture. So as I mentioned in the description, Full Sail University. Okay, well, there's their website. All right. And as you might be able to see if you follow my mouse here, they have a number of things, and they are dedicated to just these very things right here. It's not like going to a junior college or any other type of, say, college or university where they will teach just about anything, but also have recording studio classes, where you can get a degree there. No, there's a matter of fact, there's a university right down the street from where I reside here that they teach, the broad field of things where you can get your degrees. Okay, I'm sure it's business on one hand and this on the other hand, that and then plus also they have audio engineering program as well. All right, but this place here, Full Sail University, is dedicated to these things. You got schools such as the SAE, the School of Audio Engineering. They have one in Chicago. That's going to be, I do believe, completely dedicated to strictly audio engineering. However, Full Sail University is huge. Okay. And so what they have here, they have courses in music and recording, technology. Let's go music and recording. All right. They have degrees. They have undergraduate degrees. They've got bachelor's, okay, in audio production, music production, music business, recording arts, show production. And this is for music and recording. And then the certificate, which is also an undergraduate certificate. Okay. And now it may not necessarily be a degree, but it does fall underneath their categories. If you look at the degree says degree programs, and then you'll see music and recording. We'll look at that right there. Okay. And you'll notice right here underneath the degrees are is also the audio arts undergraduate degree. Now, all these are undergraduate degrees here above that. However, those are going to take, they've really done a fine job on expediting the process, whereas an associate's would take 2 years, bachelor's would take 2 more years, so 4 years to get your bachelor's, right? You have to get the associates first, we know that, and then the bachelor's, so that's 4 years of school, all right? But they've narrowed it down to, I believe, 29 months, okay? 29 months, which is what? 2 years and 5 months for a bachelor's degree. Now, let's go back here. But the certificate, we're going to get into that. Okay. So let's continue. They do technology. So, I mean, such things as, let's see, computer science, cybersecurity, etc. Okay. You can check this out for yourself. Then gaming, game design, etc., art and design. Okay. Computer animation, let's see, graphic design. Then it's film and television. So this is the big one right here, in my opinion, too. Gaming, of course, is important. All arts and designs, they're all important. But I think the two that stand out for me the most are the music and recording, and then the film and television. All right, and so is it got exactly what you would imagine for film and television? I'm going to show you their Hall of Fame here in a moment. Media communications, okay? They've got business, all right, and sports. And one is what? It's sports casting, bachelor's degree, okay? Now and here's the thing. Now they have a certificate in that, a certificate in business as well, certificate in media and communications, certificate for film and television, all right? Certificates for art and design, certificates for the games, certificates for the technology, certificates for the music and recording. So this is where I want to go with this. And now I'm done with this page, and I'm going to bring up the next one. Okay. So what is Full Sail University? Very interesting. They began in 1979 in Dayton, Ohio. Now this is where it gets even more interesting for me, and I'll share that in a moment. And it goes on to say that they started out simply as, watch this, as an audio recording workshop, for goodness sake. That's it, an audio recording workshop. Say, for instance, Guitar Center has Pro Tools, audio recording, engineering workshop. I think they have it like once a week, and they do so many classes beginning to, 1, 2, 3 different weeks, right? They might go 4 classes. One is one Saturday on Saturdays, and two, the second class for the, advancing and learning more and more and more. Second class, third class, fourth class, and then the next month, or to that effect, it goes back to the beginning again. Okay, and so that gives you the basic teaching and tutorials, or being tutored and instruction on how to use Pro Tools. Okay, it goes on to say that 10 years later, in 1979, they relocated to Central Florida, and their location today is Winter Park. I've got it Google Map up. I'm going to show you that. It's near Orlando. All right. Let's continue. Here, we'll get rid of that. Okay, so let's see here. Dayton, Ohio. Okay, so here's a map. So there's Florida, as you can see. Here, Jacksonville is up by the, as you can see up here, is up by the Georgia border. Okay. Now here's Full Sail University right here, where that red is marked, and that's Orlando. So anyway, notice they said that they began in Dayton, Ohio. Well, check this out. I have a military buddy that I was stationed with in South Korea in the 70s, okay, U.S. Army, that is from Dayton, Ohio originally. And a while back, he had a house built, okay, on the beach in Jacksonville, Florida. So Full Sail being from Dayton, Ohio, and then my friend James Sechrist is his name, who also from Dayton, Ohio, lives just north of there in Jacksonville. I don't think James knows anything too much about, he might, but about Full Sail University. He might have heard about it because it's pretty, I think, famous place, especially probably in Florida. Um, and but who knows? And then, of course, we got Daytona Beach, Dayton, Ohio, Daytona Beach, just northwest of there, right here on the coast. All right, so that's let's see here. All right, about the Full Sail University. We're going to talk about the audio production certificate. Okay, in short, that's what they actually, I believe, formally called it, and I still will refer to it as that. Yet, as you see by the description, there's other names, and yet the official name is that particular undergraduate certificate. Okay, so now here's their Hall of Fame. All right, now the inductee credits include all these different places, but the Hall of Fame, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's that extensive. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 on each one. That's 12 people. I might be missing something here. They might have more about from what I see. For instance, they've got Gary Rizzo, who's done, obviously, has done audio production on the Dark Knight Batman, I believe, movie. Okay, which is interesting too because Hans Zimmerman, in Germany, has been. Yeah, if you know anything about him, which you probably do if you're in music and audio production and whatnot, very famous producer, has created the soundtracks and whatnot that go with movies like Batman movies and other movies and Disney and others. He's got a long list on his resume, and credentials. Also, you can learn from Hans Zimmer in Masterclass. If you've heard of Masterclass online, you could actually, for what I think, $100, $200, you can you can sign up for Masterclass, and you can actually, for that amount, not only take his, you could take every master class there is available. Who's ever given it, such as Gordon Ramsay, on cooking, which I like Gordon Ramsay, and I do cook myself. So I've watched some of his videos. I've watched a lot of his shows and a lot of his videos on YouTube besides and on TV. He's one of my favorite guys. I'll just be honest with you, okay? And so is Simon on American Idol. He's one of my favorite guys too. So I don't know. I guess there's something about the British guys, in this case, and I just love their candid honesty. They don't whitewash anything, and they tell you the truth. They're not going to flatter anybody, and they're going to just tell it like it is, which is what I prefer. I'm the same way. I just want to be straightforward with someone, be honest, and I want them to be honest with me. So anyway, let's move on. So we got Sebastian Kreis, who's worked with Shakira, Gloria Estefan, Ricky Martin. We've heard of those three before, right? And let's go back here. The Incredibles. He's done The Incredibles, Gary Rizzo. He's also got credits for We Own the Night. Okay, there's a good movie. Okay. Let's see here. And then Sebastian Kreis has also other credits that he's worked with. Enrique Iglesias. Let's see here. Just others. Okay, let's go on. Let's move on. We've got Laurie Brugger, who's done Harry Potter and other things. Okay, you can read her credentials there. You've got Leslie Brathwaite, who's done, and so in particularly, so that's got to be, obviously, these two over here, I do believe, are audio, like music, But then these here are, I think, they seem to be more about. Let's see. Well, let's see. Oh, this guy's worked with Leslie Brathwaite. He's worked with Outkast. Uh, One of the guys on Outkast has played with Mark Wahlberg before on those four brothers by the same mother, different brothers but same mother, whatever. Okay, but all brothers. I try to remember that movie, the name of it. That was a good movie. All right, but I don't know, but I don't know exactly what he's uh, specified in or specialized in. What he took doesn't really say. Um, but you got Laurie Brugger, who's worked with Harry Potter, done the Harry Potter things, and what First Avenger, Clash of the Titans, etc. And then Leslie over here has worked with Outcast, and he's a multiple Grammy Award winner. Besides, it says right. Okay, let's move on. This is the thing, because if we go up here, it says 40 years of shaping entertainment and pop culture, from Oscar and Grammy winners to animators to creative directors. Our Hall of Fame have made significant contributions to their industries, um, as well as the Full Sail community every year, and they celebrate their accomplishments through a week-long. Can you believe it? Event complete with educational panels, entertainment more. I think once a year they do that. That's got to be very, very um, exciting, interesting. So let's move on. We've got, let's see here. Her name is what? Charity Lomax. Okay. She's worked with the Eagles. All right. Christina Aguilera, Aerosmith, Ringo Starr, Queen Latifah, the Pussycat Dolls. Let's see here, Janet Jackson, and so on. Then you guys got this guy here who's Christopher Klein. Okay, Toy Story, etc. Let's move along. You've got this person here, Marcella Arica, has worked with Jennifer Lopez, Chris Brown. Let's see here, Madonna, Snoop Dogg. Then you've got this person over here who's done Modern Warfare 3, that's gaming, obviously. Any Modern Warfare players out there? All right, Call of Duty war players out there? All right. So here we've got this guy here, Darren Len Bosman, who's worked on things such as, let's see, Repo. I'm not too sure. I guess, those are movies. This guy over here he's worked with, his name is Jordan DJ Swivel, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Monica, Rihanna, Mary J. Blige, Nelly, and Jamie Foxx. Now, Jamie Foxx I got to admit, is one talented artist, man, and in so many ways. So many ways. I believe he can even sing. Definitely, if you've seen him in the movie, of Ray Charles, portraying Ray Charles, he can play the piano, he play the keyboard, can sing, he can act. Okay, what do they call that? A triple threat, when somebody can sing and they can act and they can dance and all these other things. I don't know if he can dance. He probably can. All right. So anyway, and then well, that's as far as Jamie Foxx goes. And this guy worked with Jamie Foxx, so that's got to be interesting, right? And then imagine that Full Sail University started out simply as an audio production workshop. Okay, that's it, a workshop. And so here all we got is Hunter M. Hunter M. He's going by. He's done The Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy. Okay, there's a good one for you. Mob City, Dusk Till Dawn. Who hasn't heard of those, right? With The Preacher. That one's got The Preacher. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen that movie, but maybe I did. Perhaps I did. Seen a lot of movies about the preachers or whatever. Okay. Then, here's one for you. And this is the last one. I guess they say one of the best for last. They're all great, though. Keith Garrett, The Bourne Conspiracy, and let's see here, The Last of Us, okay, and etc. So you can learn more about them. Okay, now let's go on over here. Full Sail University Launchbox. I've been in contact with Full Sail, and included in the cost of what their tuition is, and this is online, in this case for the audio arts certificate or audio production certificate. They clearly told me that it's included within the cost of tuition, that they send you a Mac computer. So it says here the cost of the computer and software, etc., is included in tuition. So they're going to send you the Mac computer. So I'm going to tell you now the cost of the audio production undergraduate certificate. We're going to get into more detail. I'll share it now. It's 7 months. Okay. A couple of years ago, it was 5 months, but it was 5 months long. Okay. You get 5 different categories in there, 5 months. Each category you study for a month and you get tested on. And then the next one, study for a month, get tested on, so on, all the way through the 5. Should you pass, then you get awarded your certificate. That's got to be great. But since then, they've added 2 more categories. They've still got the first 5 in the same order, but now they've added 2 more. Okay. Now it's going to take 2 more months. And then, of course, the cost is going up. So if I'm not mistaken, and don't quote me on this, but if I'm not mistaken, when I checked with them a couple of years ago, it was like $5,000. Okay. Off the top of my head, approximately $5,000. So with a 5-month course, 5 categories in there, that's $1,000 a particular class in each one of those things. That averages to $1,000. Okay. It might have been more, because you got to consider that the Mac laptop's probably going to cost about $1,000. All right. So it might have been $6,000 or whatever, but now the price has gone up. It might have even been $7,000, but now the price has gone up to $10,000. All right. And that averages out to about I would say over $7,000 for the classes total, and then at least $3,000 for the laptop. I don't think the laptop's going to cost that much. It'll probably cost about $1,000. So out of $10,000, that would cost $1,000. At least $9,000 for 7 classes. So that's going to be a bit over, I don't know, $1,200 perhaps per each one of those 7 different categories, basically. So, but still, it's going to equal $10,000. Now they do offer financing. You can go online, you can take their financing quiz, and they're going to give you an estimate right then and there if you answer their questions. And they have Pell Grants and this, that, and the other. So they told me, I'll be honest with you, that when I filled mine out and it brought me all the way through, it says the cost of the tuition, first of all, is going to be $10,000, and that all the grants that I could get and all these other things, actually, I qualified for the full $10,000 in grants that would cover that, and it won't cost me nothing out of my own pocket as a result. Yay, you must be Italian. You made me an offer I can't refuse, right? So a couple of years ago, when I was considering going for the degree, now I wish I had, because I'm sure that the grants would have covered the full cost, but I would have been done with it 2 months earlier. Okay, in 5 months now rather than 7. So since I didn't follow through with it then, and there's reasons why, because, real life happens and real life is going on, and you look into things and you're considering it, but you really have to weigh the costs otherwise, besides, like, will I be able to follow through with this? Will I be able to dedicate? Will I have the time to actually concentrate? Will I have the time to, because after all, once they send me the course, man, that's it. I'm on it. I have to keep up with them, and I have to get everything done on time. I have to get the first one done in 1 month, the second one done the next month, and I have to be consistent and consecutive to follow all the way through in the 7 months. I even if they let you, I don't care to, like, well, I'll do it this month, or I won't be able to do it next month, and then finally I get to the second one. You might be able to do it in your own timing. I don't know if you can, and still they might have a time limit, or they require you to do it consistently month after month after month without any pause in there. I'm not too certain about that. However, if I'm going to do this, I want to be able to follow through with that on a full 5, now 6, 7 months, knowing that I can commit to it, and I'm not gonna have anything get in my way. Okay. Um, and should something arise, I'm gonna say, nope, I've set my mind to doing this. I'm not letting anything take me off course. Now I may have to deal with those things and it'll be fine, but still I'm saying, like, that's it. You know what? I can only give so much time to those things. I gotta study, I gotta do the test, I gotta get through this. I'm going to school. It's online, I'm at home, but this is my class and I'm gonna follow through. In 7 months, I'm going to have that certificate awarded to me. So now let's continue to go on here. Let's get into this here right now. So if we go back this way, you're going to notice something here. Excuse me, my eye is itching. So if you go to the degree programs, you go to degree programs up here, right? And then you go to, say, in this case, music and recording, and then it'll bring you here. Then you can go to the filters. And so I checked on certificates and then also music and recording, and it brought me to one thing. And this is what I do believe they used to call it the audio production certificate. Now it's called the Audio Arts Undergraduate Certificate, okay, which now have them added 2 more months to it. Okay, perhaps that's why they wanted to do that, because now it's an undergraduate certificate as well. All right, so now we'll click on that and we'll go there. And now, as you'll notice, it says certificate. I don't know if you should be able to see my mouse, right? So it says the Audio Art Certificate program introduces students to the world of independent, that's what I am, independent audio creation, giving them the basics they need to enter the audio industry. Okay, students build foundational knowledge of the audio production process as they develop skills in recording, music creation, editing, sequencing. The program also focuses on professional development training and techniques to help students enhance their credentials and marketability in the audio industry. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go there. So it's a 7. So now we're going to do the online in this case. So we'll do the online certificate. We'll click on that. And now here are the 7 categories. Now, the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, were the same a few years ago when they only had 5 categories. They're same exact ones, same exact order, and the 2 more now that they've added. So the first one is the audio arts in the entertainment media industry. The second one is recording principles. The third one is principles of music. Now, each one of these take a month to fulfill. Next one is sequencing. Sequencing is sequencing, which is going to have to do with MIDI. Okay, and then audio DAWs, digital audio workstations, and then the last 2 are portfolio. Number 1 is audio arts. Okay, no, I'm sorry. The 6th one is project audio arts, and the 7th is portfolio. I said all the way through. Portfolio audio arts. Now, let me interject something here. Okay, so I'll only give you a brief, if I can learn to speak English, a brief synopsis of my music journey. Okay, so when I was younger, I could play a pretty good radio. All right. Anyway, I'm going on 64 years old. When I was 51 back in 2010, I thought I want to take up the guitar. So I turned 51 in April of 2010. I'm sorry, I turned 51 in February, early on, February 2010. I turned 51. And in April, that's when I came up with that thought. I want to take up, actually, it was earlier than that. It was actually just before I turned 51. I've seen a guitar of all places, to get this, at Target store. And I've seen a keyboard there too. I've seen the guitar and the keyboard. And I said, man, I want to play the guitar. Wait a minute, I want to play the keyboard too, which I did. But I said, I know I'm going to have to make up my mind which one I want to do. So I'll just wait and I'll decide if I'm going to take up the guitar or the keyboard, and which one I'm going to take up and go to first, and then just concentrate on that. So all those months go by, and in April, I said, I met one of my neighbors where I lived down the hall from my apartment. Okay, he was 40 years old. He had been playing the guitar for 25 years. Okay, and so we're hanging out already, and I said, "Man, you know what? I was even thinking about taking up the guitar. If I do, will you teach me, and I'll pay you? You're already hanging out anyway." Say, "Sure, I will, man." So I said, "Okay, look, man, let's go up to Target. I want to buy that guitar." Now here it is months later. How did I even know it was still there? But I just must have had the faith. So we get up to Target. Sure enough, the guitar's there. It's a Fender Starcaster hollow box. It was a cheapie, but it was $150. But by this time, it was still there. Yes, it was, and it was marked down to $108. So I got it, paid for it, and I saved the receipt. I said, "I'm going to remember this day." And I looked at it. It's the 6th of April, 2010. All right. Is the day I bought the guitar and took up the guitar. Now, wait a minute. It's a righty guitar. I'm left-handed. So what I did was just restrung it up left-handed. Now the pickguard is up here, but it's restrung like a righty would play it that way. It's restrung the same way, right? But now as lefty, and the pickguard is up top. And that's how I began. All right. Then I started, as I'm learning to play the guitar, my buddies teaching me chords, and next thing you know, I was hearing melodies. Next thing you know, I was composing songs, and by the 7th month, I had 7 songs of my own composed, and ever since then, I've been composing music ever since now for over 12 years. Okay, and then immediately I started recording. Okay, I went up to Walmart and I bought a cassette tape recorder. All right, because that's the only thing I knew about recording. All right, and I don't know. I did not know anything else about take two, about what went on behind the music scenes. Okay, I had no clue. Now I'm recording. I still have those cassettes today. All right, me and my buddy now, who's teaching me, is now accompanying me on my music because he know how to be. He's like a great session player. Plus, I would compose his part for him too at times, and then he would play that, and so anyway, he was accompanying me on my music, and we got our 7 songs, and I think actually did more than 7 songs, and we put them on this first on cassette. Then I bought my next thing was a Memorex machine, home recording system. I've seen it at the pawn store. I buy stuff at the pawn store as far as music gear goes, and then bought that, and you record into a flash drive, and you can plug your instruments in. And then we took the flash drive and burned on a CD. Okay, the files. Then by 2012, I seen a Tascam DP24 at another pawn shop, but I didn't want to buy it used, so I went to Guitar Center and bought it new. And that's when they were just coming out, the DP24s, and they had MIDI and CD burner on there, which I've still got today. It's behind the curtain back here. All right, sitting on my table for my audio production and creating my own CDs and whatnot. All right, so next of all, let's continue. All right, and then 2015, I started using a DAW because my new laptop at the time had Music Maker Jam in there, and I started fiddling with it. And when I seen that, I already knew how to use a computer. I've been using a computer since 2000. So, but I didn't want to use a computer for audio engineering and recording and engineering up to that point in time yet. So then when I seen that a Music Maker Jam, all of a sudden I had an epiphany and a revelation about, wait a minute, this is what a small scale idea of what working on a DAW would be like. So then I found that because Magix makes Music Maker Jam, I went to Magix, they're a German company, and I looked at they have DAWs, and they have a DAW that costs $500, but they also have one so they're good quality DAWs, but they had one for $50 called Music Maker Jam 2016, right? So I had bought it. Actually, it was 2015, at the end of 2015 when I bought it. And it was the new version of 2016 already coming out. And then I started using a DAW. So that was in 2015. And I've been using a DAW now for, oh, Jesus, 7 years. Okay. So 15, yeah, 15, right? 15 to 20 to 22. Yep, 7 years. And this the end of uh, 2015. Now it's towards the, yeah, it's actually, I believe it was in October of 2015. Here it is, October 2022. Now for 7 years, I've been using a DAW. So of course, I've used Audacity. If you want to call that a DAW, I think you can, because it has all these features. It's a great piece of software. It's free. You can give them a donation if you want. But that's the first one I really started using. But I found that I still keep it, as I use it as my post mastering. Okay, uh, uh, DAW. Okay, and I can explain that later too. But then I went to Mixcraft 7, and then I went to Pro Tools, and then I found out about Reaper DAW in 2017, and then I switched to Reaper DAW, and Reaper DAW has been my go-to DAW now for 5 years. I love it. It's very, 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 very good and great quality, and works quick, and it lives up to every bit of its name. Reaper, Rapid Environment Audio Production, Engineering, and Recording. That's what Reaper stands for. And I mean, when you go to open it, it opens right away. And then when you go to do something on it, it reacts right away. It's very user friendly, top quality DAW, and only a $60 one-time payment for a license. Okay, one time only, unlike Pro Tools, which is going to cost you a yearly renewal of about $700. Okay, and then the thing about Pro Tools, it takes so long to open. I finally got to the point where, yes, Pro Tools would be great to use. I could still use it. Okay, however, I switched to Reaper, and Reaper is really the one I want to use. But now I was meant to say that when the Full Sail sends you that Mac computer, I think they send you the Logic DAW. I'm not certain if it's Logic or Studio One or a different DAW, but they have a particular specific DAW that they want you to use. Okay, so you will have to familiarize yourself with that, and if you familiarize yourself with other DAWs, okay, or even one DAW, you can refamiliarize yourself with another. Okay, so then, so should we go into this? So let's open this up, and Audio Arts is it basically says the project one Audio Arts students will apply their knowledge of audio recording, MIDI sequencing, digital audio workstations, musical concept to construct cohesive content. Through this course, students will demonstrate the ability to integrate, expand on learned skills in the creative process. Let's go back to now the portfolio. This is going to be interesting. Oh, I know what they had. They had one about recording principles. I know the one they had. The one was organization skills. File and folder organization skills was in something. Let's see. Let's just check this out. We're going to go back to the one. I don't see that in here now, but I know that here it is. Basic file and session management and recording principles. I've always been about that. Okay, before this, but they're gonna say, hey, file and session management is very, very important, and we that do these things know how true that is. Okay, so then the portfolio. This is interesting. The last one of the 7. Students will revise and refine the work they completed in Project 1 to create a portfolio or create portfolio ready examples of their musical content. And mind you, you have to submit this to them, I believe, show them this somehow. All right. They'll show us what to do, how to do this, to show it to them, evidence, whatever. The students will create a portfolio to showcase this. That's great. Their assets, as well as reflect on the creative process and its results. Now let's go back. So as I've been saying, I've been doing this now for many years, and in particularly with the DAWs for 7. And my strength is composing. That is my strong suit. I also perform. Yes, I did take up the keyboard. Not too long after I bought the guitar and I was composing music. I went to the pawn store. I bought a $50 Casio. All right, used. Since then, I gave that away, and I went and bought another keyboard. It's also Casio, but it's a nicer one. And also, since then, I've started using a MIDI keyboard. Besides, and I have the Arteria Keylab 49 Essential. Okay, Keylab Essential 49 keys. All right, which you can actually go up an octave or two by hitting a button. Okay, so get the same differences you would on a 61 key or even an 88 key, I think. All right, so that's the MIDI over here. I've got over here, and then my other my Casio is over there. All right, so yes, I have been doing all these things already for a number of years. Everything that they're going to, that I'm going to be studying here. Well, the whole point of this is to obtain a certificate. Okay, a certificate, and get a certificate from Full Sail. That would be great. But look, also I have studied Mr. David Wills's materials, okay, from Pro Audio DVDs, formerly known as, to now the name is Pro Audio EXP. And so I learned of David back in 2012 when I was looking for a video tutorial, because in my manual I couldn't make heads or tails of how to use my Tascam DP24. And he was the only resource out there online in 2012 that had a video. Tascam didn't even have one, but he was authorized by Tascam nonetheless. David seen a need, he's seen a market for these things, and he started contacting Tascam and Korg and Yamaha and all these things. Says, hey, look, I see you have no DVD tutorial on this, on your things. I will create it for you. Okay. I'll independently create it for you. I'll make money off it. He might give them a piece of the action. They send him, okay, fine, here's a Tascam DP24. He reads the manual. He's smart like that. He can understand it. He's been at this for like 35, 40 years, right? So now, and he's world renowned. I mean, Michael Jackson, Phil Collins, Whitney Houston, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Check him out online. And so then he studies the manual. Then he learns how to operate the Tascam DP24 or whatever he has in front of him. Then he makes a DVD tutorial. Then he has to send the equipment back to them. That's the deal, right? So then he's going to make his money. Tascam probably making a piece of that besides. And so is Yamaha and Korg and whatever he's making these tutorials for. So then back in, trying to think of what year that was. Jesus. I don't know, maybe 2017. He contacted me and said, hey, I'm making a infomercial about the home recording school course. But first, let me back this up a little bit. I learned of his Ultimate Home Recording School course, 3 DVD set. I don't know. I guess he might have, sent out an email to his clients or customers prior. I got notified of somehow that he has this course. So he invited me to attend one of his online seminars, which I did. And he discussed it. And then I went ahead and bought it for a little under $200. All right. The Ultimate Home Recording School. He says he will teach you, all right, whatever, in those 3 set DVDs, or whatever even Full Sail would teach you. All right. What you will learn there. He's covered in those DVDs. And I can't help but believe him. All right. Because he's looked at he knows these things anyway. He's in the industry. He's most likely looked at Berkeley and Full Sail University, who he's referred to. he has referred, he has mentioned them, and he says, hey, you don't really need to go there and spend $80,000 when you can buy he says you can if you want to, but you can buy this DVD set and learn. It covers everything in there that they would teach, okay, for under $200. Now, so I bought the course, and then he contacted me later, says doing an infomercial. Would I make him a little video clip, and then he put me in it? And it's like, okay, so I did, and he put me in it. Got a little piece in there, right, in his infomercial. All right, amongst other guys as well, his customers from around the world. Now, listen, please. Here's the thing. So I thought to myself, well, you know what? Here's something I didn't think of, right? He's a teacher. You go to his website. He calls us students. All right. He calls his DVD tutorials and whatnot courses. All right. And then you say you got the name of the Ultimate Home Recording School on there. So I contacted him the other day, and I should have thought about this to begin with, but I didn't. And if I would have thought about it to begin with, so 5 years ago, I would have said something. Do you offer a certificate for having completed your course, taken and completed your course? Because look, man, I've studied this, and you can offer a certificate, all right, from your business or from your if you're teaching something, you can offer a certificate of completion, all right, saying that you took his Ultimate Home Recording School course. So I've contacted him over that, and I suggested him the idea. And right now we've been in correspondence over that. Okay, so I'll just leave it at that right now. And yes, you can issue a certificate, all right, from your company or from your business or whatnot. You don't have to be accredited. You don't have to be an accredited school. You don't have to be an accredited business with the Better Business Bureau. You can actually offer a certificate, okay, to those who have completed any course that you've given. All right. So that's the thing about that. Now, all right, the whole idea is I've already been doing this. I've got the practical experience. I've got the hands-on. I've already got a portfolio of music. I've got my own compositions that I've composed, I've recorded, I've audio engineered, I've produced, and I've put up online, all right, and whatnot, and that are in my archives and in my records and in my folders and in my computer and on CD discs and whatnot. All right. So I've already got my portfolio. And so the thing of it is, though, it'd be nice to have that piece of paper. Okay. And it speaks volumes, in my opinion, a certificate. Okay. It just basically validates and it verifies, okay, that you've accomplished something, and you have another outside source who you've studied from or studied through or whatever, affirming this, okay? And with the name of David Wills on that and Pro Audio EXP LLC or whatever it is, I think it's a limited liability company, LLC, then, that speaks volumes, all right? Just like Full Sail University with their stamp on their certificate would speak volumes, all right? And so anyway, it's about that. Furthermore, what else can I say? That's it right here. So if you look at degree programs, you will notice that the Audio Arts Undergraduate Certificate is listed under the degree programs, and it is an undergraduate, okay, program at that. It's a certificate, okay, and it's not a bachelor's, okay. It's not, they have business intelligence masters. I don't know. I have only computer science masters. Let's see here. What other masters do they have? But they have certificates and they have bachelors, certificates and bachelors. And then I just noticed a few master's degrees, entertainment business masters. Okay, so that's basically it. They mainly have certificates and definitely bachelor's degrees. Okay, undergraduate certificates and actually bachelor's degrees, which are also considered undergraduate degrees. Okay, so whether you get an undergraduate bachelor's or undergraduate certificate, by going to get the bachelor's in their time frame, which is 29 months rather than 4 years, or you get their certificate in 7 months, right? Because they're doing the overall what they feel is the most important things in audio production, okay, and doing highlighting those categories like they did in 7 categories, and doing a synopsis, right? And yet within that synopsis, concentrating, okay, by bringing out the most important points in audio engineering. All right. And so they devised that, designed that. I think that's great. So yes, David Wills would have to devise a test, but I could even go back over it and devise a test for him once I look at the DVDs again. You know what I mean? I could create my own certificate. I could create my own workshop and then issue a certificate on it. Anyone that completes it. Okay. So anyway, let's see. I think that's it. Let's go back to StreamYard, and I'm going to just bring myself here, only me and the camera. I do believe that is it. I'm going to remove this. Okay, stop screen. All right. Now here I am full screen, having talked about Full Sail University. Okay, that's about it. Anyway, I know I don't have a lot of my songs up on my YouTube channel. And right now I'm broadcasting the 3 definitions via StreamYard. And oh, that reminds me, I forgot to put a, I forgot to put, um, I forgot to put, oop, let's go there. There we go. I forgot to put my logo up there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, hey, because I do different types of um, videos and live streams about different topics. So it's not only music, but here's one for you. Here's my my production uh, production company name, basically, right? And it's Majestic Multimedia Production is what I call it, and Cool Cat Recording Studios. And let's see here, what else? So I'm using StreamYard. I'm broadcasting to 3 different destinations at the same time. One is YouTube, my YouTube channel, Cool Cat Recording Studios. One is my Facebook, one of my Facebook pages, one of them, Cool Cat Recording Studios Facebook page, and then my own personal profile on Facebook, which which is Jimmy Santangelo on Facebook. Okay. And so those are the 3 destinations I'm sending this to. And so I don't have a lot of music on my Cool Cat Recording Studios. As a matter of fact, I haven't done any videos in quite some time for YouTube, and I don't have very many music videos up on YouTube either. But I have what I attempted to make as tutorials, and since then I've gotten better, I think, at making videos and tutorials, especially after watching some of my old former videos on YouTube. I know, to me, some of it might seem a little grueling, but in time I've gotten better, and I would like to make more videos and more tutorial videos on music, on you put them up on YouTube, and also add my music videos to YouTube as well. But I got a lot of my music videos up on my Facebook personal Facebook profile. I do a lot of Facebooking just with my personal profile, and they're on there. So anyway, yes, and I got my music, some of it on Reverb Nation, and I don't really have it anywhere else neither, but I've got it on Reverb Nation, and I haven't put anything up there for a long time. I don't have a lot of songs up there, but my genre is songwriter. The location is Chicago, and I've ranked number 1 there. For right now, I'm at number 7. Yesterday I was number 6, and I stay within between. It seems like number 1 and number 7, just up and down the scale. Number 2, number 3. I don't even know really exactly why, but that's what they got me ranked as. And my rank, other than that, regionally and nationally and globally, is pretty good as well. I don't put a whole lot of music up on there neither. I don't visit it very often. I've actually lost my rank before because I didn't visit it enough and didn't even check in. And as soon as I checked back in, I went right back up to a high rank again. I was like, how does this how does our algorithm work on this artificial intelligence? Who knows? But anyway, guys, let's go back over here like that. Okay, I guess that's about it. And I finally got to do a live broadcast tonight, and I do talk about various topics. One is music. I talk about other things besides. I have other topics that I discuss. All right, depending, and then I will use perhaps whatever logo I'm going to put up there for that. Who knows? Anyway, that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. Lord Jesus bless you. Sayonara, Anika Shipsho, which means in Korean, goodbye. Okay. And hasta la bye bye. And thanks for viewing these videos, live stream if you're there, video once I'm done. Okay. And have a great weekend. And once again, thank you. Cheers. Shabbat Shalom, by the way. It is Saturday, the Sabbath. Yes. Support Israel, America, Israel, allies. God bless us. Yeah. South Korea, too. Right on. Hoorah. Thank you, you veterans. I salute you. I salute you people anyway. Cheers, America and the world. Jesus loves us. Have a good weekend.